How to task people. If you are a real estate investor and you really want a 10x, you're going to need to use the leverage of other people, right? You're going to have to get a virtual assistant, some other helpers, something like that. You're not going to have enough hours in the day, or you're going to spend all your time doing real estate investing and not enjoying your life.
Give it to me, I need those.
Bringing people on board is a huge, huge part of it, and we want it to be successful. And I have learned kind of the hard way over the years about how challenging it is to successfully task people you bring on your team, how to tell them what to do, how to set them up for success in doing it, how to follow up and make sure it was done the way you want it to, right? All of that. And so let's talk about how to do that successfully and pass along all of my lessons learned from years of developing this system. And let me also tell you why you might want to do it this way and how it could go wrong if you didn't. So what I used to do, my personal challenge that I solved with this system, was I had a virtual assistant and we had a project management system that I used for all of our routine tasks. If something else came up, I might just forward the email to them and said, hey, can you put this on your list? Or hey, can you handle this? Or we use Google Chat, so I might just Google Chat and say, hey, can you add this to your list? Or can you do this for me? And I would have all these different ways that I might send stuff to them. The challenge is that they might forget to put it on their to-do list, right? Or there wasn't really a way for me to give them feedback on that task.
You understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Unless they just sent me an email or something, but it wasn't a clear system. And there was no system for me to make sure that it got done, right? I wasn't like going through and thinking of everything I ever emailed or chatted them and being like, what happened with this? Plus, that would take a lot of mental energy for the things that I did remember, and it wasn't really freeing me up to do my higher level thinking. So I developed this system that I'm going to share with you guys. It's super simple and anybody can use it to successfully task people that they've brought into their world to help with their business. So the first keystone foundational piece here is you need to use a project management system. There are plenty of them out there. I love and adore Monday.com. And if you want to use Monday.com, there is an affiliate link in the details below. It helps me out, costs you nothing, and supports this channel if you do use that affiliate link. So please check it out if you want to get started on Monday.com. And what I love about Monday.com is it's really robust and it's really automated. So you can set up a lot of rules and things like that. You can use Zapier to connect it to other things. And so I've just found that no matter what you want to do, if you're using Monday.com, it can do it. And so what that's allowed is that on my real estate investing business, pretty much I have a Google workspace where we've got Google Drive, we've got our Google like emails and all that. And then we have Monday.com. Those are the two systems that are the backbones of my real estate investing business. Now we have other little tools that we use, but those are the two that are the foundational pieces. Now, once you have that project management system, every task goes into the project management system. If you are asking someone on your team to do something, and it is more than like a 5-second response kind of thing, it is going in the project management system. Every task. That is what I've had to become very disciplined to do, and it is transformational. And if you're like, oh my gosh, that sounds really burdensome or heavy, it's not. It's super, super simple. All right, Monday has a great phone app, and then of course, if we're on the computer, it has a very robust system there, and it is very, very easy to create a task there. I spend less than a minute to create the majority of tasks I create initially. I may spend a little more time if I have to give a little more information, and yet it can be as short as under a minute. It does not take more time than forwarding an email or sending a chat, and it really sets you up for success so much more because you're putting in all the details. When you put everything in Monday or whatever your project management system is, you're setting things like what's the name of the task? Who's the person responsible? You're selecting that. We usually have like a person responsible column on our boards. You're setting the due date for the task. Priority is something that we have on a lot of our task boards. So is this critical? Like, oh my gosh, I need you to do it immediately, drop everything. Is it high, medium, or low? That is what we use to help with the priority on our tasks. And then there's other things that can go in there. But one of the things when you put it in there, you're going to be able to just get a lot more information and have a lot more feedback. But to start, we can put those details in, and that's really setting that person on your team up for success, so they have a little more context for the task. That's one of the reasons that we like it, is that, in general, I often refer to the Pareto principle, the 80-20 rule. And when it comes to tasking or working with people on your team, what I coach people and advise people is you need to do the 20% to set that other person up to successfully do the 80% and get it done, right? If you're only doing 1 or 2% of this task, especially the first time you've given it to someone, they cannot do the other 98 or 99%. They don't have enough details and context, and you're not transferring to them the vision and the resources that you have in your mind. So what I suggest is when you put things in this project management system like Monday.com, you're selecting all those base details and then you're giving them a little bit more. Now, maybe you do copy paste things for an email, or maybe you say, hey, see the email that I sent, and you forward the email as well. The thing is, you cannot forward the email unless you also put the task in Monday. And the amount of times that I forward an email and put a task in Monday is 1 in several hundred. It's very, very rare. All right. So most often I'm actually putting the information in Monday, so it's all in one place so that it's efficient for the person on my team to do what they need to do. They're not hunting around for something. They don't have to come, ask me again. It's just all in one place. Now, the second thing that I love about using a project management system is that updates can be done in there. It's so much more efficient. It gives you so much more headspace. It saves you time. So instead of emailing back and forth, within a project management system, such as Monday, they have the opportunity to do updates. And so if you give your person a task, right? You give the person on your team a task. Let's say that you've asked them to edit a video for you, okay? Because this is something I just had a virtual assistant do. Yesterday, I recorded a video, I put it on Google Drive, and I make a task on Monday where I link to the video and I say, edit this. Now, we have a standard system for editing, so I don't need to go into the details of that. They know what they want it to look like. And then what they do when they're done is they post an update and they say, ready for review. And because the link is there to the folder with the original file and the new file that they've made, and that's all in Google Drive, I can just click on that link. I can go and I can click on the video and I can see what they've done. And then I can give them feedback. Like, there was a word misspelled in a few places, so I was in the caption. So I was able to reply on that same Monday task and say, overall, it looks great. At these timestamps, these words were misspelled. Can you finish that? Then they're able to go in, fix it, and let me know. And then we can say that, and I can review it and we can say that it's done.
Very nice.
And so then I'm not needing to go back and forth to emails and understand the context and be like, where's the link to this video? Everything we need is in that one little task. It's super efficient and they're not interrupting me or anything like that. I set aside time a few times a day to go into Monday, handle my notifications, and respond to things. So that's how it works. Super efficient and saves us a ton of time and allows everybody to do their best. Now, a key part of this with these updates being in Monday and a key part of this whole system is do not email, chat, Slack, whatever your informal message of communication is, do not do that asking for updates or giving updates. All those updates need to be in the task and in the project management system. Here's why. First, everything is in one place. And we've spoken about how useful that is when you're doing the task. It's more efficient, it's easier, less mental strain. Then there's also the benefit that afterward, let's say you have questions about this task months down the line, you can go into your project management system, you can find this task in your done section, and you can look at all the updates and see what happened. It's really helpful on the rare occasion when you have to remember, hey, what happened with this? Where was it? You can just go back and find it all there, and it's much, much easier even than using Google Email. As much as I love Gmail, searching stuff and having all those details together in your project management system is even better. So that's one of the reasons that I love using everything there with the updates and not communicating in a different system about it. The second reason that I am so adamant about this, guys, is because I think it's so important to be able to do focused work. I love time blocking. I think it's huge, and I want to be able to time block and do something for an hour or 2 hours and not be interrupted. And yet, if you're a real estate investor, owner, entrepreneur, human being, you know how difficult it is to actually turn everything off, turn off all the notifications, turn off your phone onto silent, do all those things and really disconnect for that time. And you know how you can stress that maybe people will need to reach you about something urgent. Well, with my team, because I have all of our non-urgent updates, all of our normal stuff is going on our project management system, we reserve Google Chat, which is the system that we use for those informal communications, for pretty much check-in and check-out messages at the beginning and the end of the day, and urgent messages. So if they need me urgently, they can Google Chat me and I will pause and go check that work because I know that this happens rarely and that it's time sensitive. So an example can be if we have a guest in one of our short-term rentals messaging about something that is urgent and is beyond my virtual assistant's capability to handle on their own and they need my input. Then they know that they can Google Chat me, and I know that if they're Google chatting me, it's something urgent and I need to get to them. It does take a while to make sure everybody's on the same page with this, and I have found that when I bring new people into my world, they might want to keep me updated. They're new VA, they want to make sure I know what's going on and how hard they're working, and they might want to chat me more often. And over, time, I train them and I tell them, guys, let's keep this to check in and check out messages and urgent messages during the day. And the best way, more things are caught than taught, is for me to do that myself. When I use Monday for updates, when I use Monday to ask, hey, what's the latest status on this, right? When I make sure all my tasking is in Monday rather than in that chat forum or via email. When I use this and show this is the standard for me in this business, they follow suit. So that is one of the key parts of being successful with tasking people. Your chat system is only used for check-in, check-out, in my case, and urgent messages. And it allows you to leave that on while you're doing deep work, knowing that you're only going to get interrupted if something's really important. I hope you guys found this helpful. It's really a simple system. It follows the keep it simple, stupid idea of, in order to task people, you set up one project management system. All your tasking goes in there, all your updates go in there, and everything is in there, and that's how you communicate about this tasking. It also makes sure that nothing gets dropped. So to circle back to that story I had at the beginning about how I would task people via email or via text or chat, and then maybe I'd remember further down the line, be like, whatever happened with that? And the truth is that, all too often it was nothing. When we have stuff in our project management system, there's a due date, and the item doesn't just go away. You can set up your settings, or if somebody was to archive or do something like that you would get notified. I've not really ever had an issue with that. And so we're able to make sure that everything I need them to do is followed up on and done. And then a little bonus here, guys, to really make sure that things are done and that you guys are on the same page. One of the things I love to do in Monday is for these updates or for when things to be are marked done, that I get a screenshot, because it's verifying that it's done, and it's also allowing me to kind of just check and make sure that it was done how I envisioned it to be done. So that is something else I'd throw out there. I can really take your tasking to the next level, that there's the expectation that when something is completed, they're not just writing done, they're providing proof that it's done. And that's often a screenshot. So that's my little extra bonus for you as a real estate investor who is 10xing your business by leveraging other people's help. If you found this helpful, please make sure to follow along and subscribe wherever you are watching or listening, and stay tuned so we can talk again next week.